Hello, everyone. Welcome to our last conference, our last panel of this year. It's not the end for Numerics 2020. We're going all the way to March. But before I introduce myself and so on, I just wanted to talk about what we just saw with Baragoff. So every conference, we will be featuring a company, and we're giving a free ad space to companies who have been negatively affected by COVID-19. And Baragoff, from the very, very start, what happened was when the pandemic started, they were there to try to help the community around them in Park X and helping people with whether they needed their needs of food or helping other restaurants and so on. So they've really been there for the community. And so we wanted to share with them this ad space as they are a restaurant that is halfway operating today because of everything. And also that they wanted us to mention to you that now they actually have donuts. They're actually selling donuts. So give them support. They're in Park X near Boulevard L'Acadie. And I'll come back very, very soon. Let's just jump into the countdown and also as with the trailer before we start the show. And you'll see me very soon. All right, now I will officially introduce myself. My name is Patrick. I'm the founder of Numerics, and I'm super, super excited for tonight because we have an amazing panel that's waiting for us. I just wanted to let everyone know that you can participate in the interacting with us in the comments section, and we will be appearing your comments just to know that there's a 10 seconds delay between what we're saying and what you are seeing. So do not worry if we're not responding or we're not putting your stuff up there right away. It's because there's a delay. Also, a quick reminder that the event will continue on the same Facebook group page where you are. We're going to be using the Salle d'Atelier or the Salle de Réseautage, which are our networking rooms for tonight. And we're going to try to limit between 6 and 8 people per room so it doesn't become overcrowded. And feel free to jump from one room or the other, but I will remind you of this at the end of the panel. But tonight, it's not about me. I'm not even the one presenting. Let's bring Ingrid on board. Let's bring Ingrid here with me. Hey, Ingrid.
Hey, how you doing? Hi, everyone. So happy to be here.
Super great. Thank you for being here. This is so super exciting because it's our actually first panel for this numeric series where we're having multiple people coming on at the same time and having a conversation versus presenting. We're used to the presentation model.
Exactly. I mean, it's going to be so much fun. I already saw one person. I believe her name is Connor. She already wrote some comments. I mean, just do like her, guys. What you need to understand is that we are in front of a screen. We don't see you. We don't feel you. We don't feel the love. And we need a lot of that. We need a lot of that. And tonight, I mean, I'm so excited because I had the opportunity to speak to all three panelists, and they have so much to say. So it'll be really, really fun.
Yeah, it's true. We miss doing in-person events. It's never the same. And I don't know if it's by it's a coincidence but our next topic in January, we're talking about like the future of events, or how do we reimagine events, because I'm an event person and I've been, in lockdown. We haven't been seeing anyone. So, we don't feel that energy, but we want to feel it in the comments. So make sure you are sending that love, and we will see you virtually in the networking session. And there we go. We have some comments appearing. Hi, everyone. Oh, this is great. Now we can see who's watching our show.
Exactly. That's so much fun. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. And also, just like Patrick mentioned, make sure to ask your question, as we talk. Yes, you mentioned the delay, but I mean, I'll be doing my best, just like I always do, to include your question, because after all, that's the only reason why we're here, right? We want this to be an added value, and all three of the panelists want this to be an added value as well. So, I mean, just make sure to ask a question, and we'll answer as many as we can.
And before I let everyone go, there's a quick reminder over here. It says this link, StreamYard.com/Facebook, to make sure you enable the feature, because when you send us a comment, and that hasn't been enabled, we don't know who you are. So we will love to see who's asking us the questions, or who's commenting like that. We don't know who that person is. So whoever
it might be on purpose. It might be on purpose, though.
Yeah. But we'll call you Facebook user because we don't know who you are. So to avoid that, if you want to know who you are, add your enable it. So that is it for me. I will sign off for now, and I'll come back at the end. But have a great event, everyone. I look forward in seeing all of you at the end of the event. See ya.
Thank you so much. So I mean, so I'm waiting for the panelists to show up, and in the meantime, just allow me to present myself, to introduce myself. My name is Ingrid Gilbert, and I'll be tonight's panel moderator. The panel will be mainly in English. It will be in English, but I mean, then again, if you are more comfortable to ask your question in French, feel free to do so, and I will translate if need be. So then again, all questions are more than appreciated. Oh my God, my panelists start appearing. Yes!
Hey, Ellie.
Hi, everyone. Ellie, you are live. Just make sure that your microphone is working. Lisa, maybe activate. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect like that. So without further ado, because we have about like 25 minutes, right? All four of us together. So I will start with Lisa. Lisa Brookman. Who are you? What do you do? And let us know a little bit, maybe like a minute to introduce yourself. And right after you introduce yourself, we will show a video so that way people know who you are.
Sure. So I am so thrilled to be here, and it's really an honor to be on this panel with Eve and Ellie. So my name is Lisa Brookman. I am a psychotherapist, and I'm the owner of the West Island Therapy Center. We are a group, we're a team. I run it with my husband, and really our main priority is to help the community, help people who are suffering from depression, anxiety. We know there's so much of that going on there right now. But our priority is really to support the community.
That's really nice. That's really awesome. And we will come back to that, of course. Sure. In the meantime, we will show the video so that way people have a better idea maybe of who you are also throughout the video.
Thank you.
When COVID-19 happened and everything was closing, Eve and I kind of looked at each other, and we had to kind of make some split-second decisions on what we were going to do because our office was closing. None of us, any of the 20-plus therapists, including Eve and I, had ever done therapy over Zoom. And one of the biggest concerns I had when we were having to pivot into doing online services, and I was so concerned about it, was how will we be able to create that safe environment online? It's been remarkable. I feel the same connection with my clients, and I've realized that it's us. The warmth and the nurturing and the caring and the safety comes from the mentality of our team. And what I actually love about it is people now take pride in, showing us the room they're doing therapy in.
The truth is, I have clients who are more comfortable talking through a screen. They open up and share and bring out things that they would never do in an office with me. Never. Let alone like, look at me. But to be able to share the things that they're sharing. And this time they can close the camera if they don't want to have me look at them, or they can, again, be wherever they are in their own environment and be able to share. It's been remarkable, really, to see them open up the way they have.
Thank you so much for this. And we will talk about that because I believe it's your husband. Is that so?
It is.
Right beside you? Okay. And we will talk about that. You know, people opening up more behind the screen. We'll talk about that. I'll be right with you. Now I'll go to Eve. Eve Elise, how you doing?
I'm very good. Yourself? Hi, Ellie. How are you?
We're super happy to be here. Eve, take a few minutes, take a few seconds to introduce yourself so that way people know you are, and right after the video will appear.
So I'm Yves Ulysse. I'm the founder of M3 Mode Masculine Montreal, which is the Montreal Men's Fashion Week. It was the project that I have been working on for many years. So we launched our first edition in 2019. We were getting ready to prepare a huge event for 2020, but unfortunately, COVID happened, so we had to reimagine the way we're going to produce our event. So we wanted to cancel, but at some point we were like, okay, we did a first edition in 2019. We could not pass this year and not doing something, and we didn't want to be forgotten. So we decided to do a digital event.
Perfect, perfect. So without further ado, let's see that video. Thank you so much for this. We will come back also to something specific that you mentioned, Eve, which was we did not want to be forgotten. And I believe this is something that a lot of us can resonate with, right? Because we want to keep going, we want to keep thriving. Guys, in the audience, let us know what you do, who you are, if you are independent worker, what it is that you do, so that way we can maybe insert some of those realities as well within our panel. So last but not least, thank you so much for the make sure to support also Lisa, make sure to support Eve, make sure to support Ellie. I love the support, I really do. Make sure to send some love to everybody. So Ellie, without further ado, I mean, first things first, I mean, good night, good evening. Thank you so much for being here. Maybe you want to introduce yourself and let us know who you are and what you do.
Perfect. First, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. So first, I want to say hello to all of you. It's such a pleasure to be here. My name is Ellie Halawini, also known as Ellie Fitness Trainer. I have been a personal fitness trainer for the last 20 years of my life. And before COVID hit, I was working in a gym for 17 years in the same gym, working one-on-one with so many different people. So when COVID hit, I really felt it. I mean, I got I was very happy working in the gym. I love working with people one-on-one. I love inspiring them, empowering them. And it's so much more than just getting them in great shape physically, but also making them a lot more aware of their bodies and their mind and their soul and feeling good. And of course, spreading all that. Every time they leave the gym, they feel great. So that's a big part of what I do. I like to make people feel amazing and look great and feel good in their skin. And when COVID hit, I was in Morocco, and I saw on my phone, I saw all the chaos going on in Montreal. And when I saw that the gym was closed, my heart stopped. My heart stopped. I felt completely distraught, disappointed. I was saying to myself, what the hell am I going to do? I thought it was going to be short term. I finally managed to get out of Morocco, which was not easy, but accomplished. As you can see, I'm here. And when I came back to Montreal, I saw what happened, and I really had to take initiative and help my clients. When I came back, my clients told me, Ellie, what am I going to do? I need to train. I can't stop training for the next 2-3 months. I got to get into it. So I immediately took action. I said, okay, I said, guys, don't worry. I'm going to take care of you. I switched my whole career from working one-on-one in a gym to everything online, but still offering the same service, if not better. Now it's a bit more convenient for a lot of people. And I'm there when they need me. I'm there.
Ellie, you get to keep some for the panel itself. We feel the enthusiasm, we feel the love.
All right, so go on. Next question. Go ahead.
Well, before we go to the next question, please allow us to show your video so that way people see really what you do.
Sure.
Excellent. Perfect. Amazing. All the way down. Up, 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 up. Perfect. Get it. Push up super low. There you go. Good. Excellent. Oh, nice. Yes. Good stuff. Good. Focus all the way down. That's it. Good range. Nice. Good job, man. This is great. Good job. Beautiful. High. Super high. Let's go. Nice. Come on. We got this. Oh, we got...
Thank you so much for that. We felt the love and the support through it all. I just want to take the time maybe to read one comment, because I had Melanie, answering what she does. And I think maybe Lisa, you might, that might resonate with you. Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm a nurse entrepreneur. I own Nomadic Nurse Agency, where we provide mobile nursing, a little bit like you do, services in the comfort of your own home. So that's really good. That's really perfect. So my first question, and then again, guys, the audience, feel free to ask questions. I will include them throughout the conversation. The first question would be, whenever it just hit, I remember you, Ellie, saying that you were in Morocco. Eve and Lisa, you were here in Montreal. So when it first hit, explain the process of, I have a business, I need it to stay alive. What do I do? Explain what you've been through. I feel like starting maybe with Eve.
Well, what happened is that I thought of not doing an event at all. And then, it hits me, when you do a first event. Ellie was there, actually. He witnessed the first event. It was incredible. Montreal was on fire. It was an incredible experience for everybody. And I was like, okay, I have to move on. I have to continue. But luckily for me, I had, before doing M3, I was a TV host. I had a web TV show. So I kind of knew how to work with cameras and doing videos and stuff like that. So we decided to do fashion films to promote the designers. And at some point, we found out that the government was letting us have at least 250 people. So we got the luck to meet these people. I knew this guy from House of Jazz. He was the marketing director of House of Jazz. So when I asked him, just because I wanted to do a fashion film there for one of the designers, he told me that, why don't you do the event here at the House of Jazz? So I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So that's how I decided to do the fashion films. We did a photo session with our photographers, the models, and then we did the fashion films, and we did a physical event with 150 people with all the safety measures.
Wow.
And it was broadcast live on Facebook. So,
wow.
That's what we managed to do, and it was really a great experience for most of the people that were there, because lots of them didn't went out for at least 4 months. So we were actually the only physical event that happened in Montreal or Quebec. So that's really, really exciting. Really exciting. Very happy.
You have support from the crowd. I mean, that's amazing. Thank you so much, guys. And Lisa and Ellie, you have some too. We will show them as we go along. I just maybe want to, take the time to put the emphasis on using your competencies that you had before, that you still do actually, mentioning like the camera and stuff like that, and using that and then put it into something else to stay alive, to make it happen, to thrive. So I mean, kudos for you, Eve. The same, my pleasure. Question, same one to Lisa.
So I have a very similar story to Ellie. I own this private practice. We have a great office in the West Island. I work with my husband, and all our services are face-to-face. The idea of ever doing therapy through a camera was completely foreign to me. And COVID hit, and I really panicked. Myself and my husband, we work together. So this is our bread and butter. And then I have a team of 23 other therapists that depend on us to refer them cases and provide them with space to do their work. So I remember that Friday feeling completely discouraged and overwhelmed and not really knowing where we would turn and how we would keep our business going. And clients were also panicking, calling the office saying, I need therapy. I don't know what to do without your office and your services. And literally by Monday morning, we had converted the whole office onto Zoom. So all 25 of us were booked. All our referral sources weren't there either. So we had to really, it was a very interesting pivot for us. And thank goodness, a very successful one.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. And who else, I feel like asking, who else panicked? Like within the audience, and who else panicked at all? Maybe like all three of you. Anyone panicked? Everybody stay cool?
Yeah. I didn't panic. I was like, I'll do another one next year. It doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. And then I realized that, I had to continue to inspire people, to show the people that even if in those situations we still can be creative and we still can strive and that we can adapt. So for me, it was a message to all the people in the event, industry, all the people that had a business there to inspire them, like to do something. You just cannot cross your arms and say, okay, I'm just going to give up. And I'm not consider myself the type of person. So, I didn't panic at all. I was actually happy to be able to maneuver and do something different. It was very exciting to me.
Oh my God, that's so much fun. And we have some thanks for sharing, everyone. What a turnaround. So keep it up, guys. What about you, Ellie? How did you process it all, knowing that you were 1,000 miles away from here?
I really wanted to get back because I knew that once I came back to Montreal, I was going to be able to start taking action. So my first mission was to get out of Morocco, come back to Montreal safe and sound with 20 other people. We were there for an amazing retreat that started off great with some challenges, but we made it out all safe and sound. And my goal was to get here and then take one thing at a time, get here safe and sound. I took a few days just to rest. And then I started immediately organizing myself at home, organizing a place where I could show exercises, organizing my place where I could place my phone appropriately so people could see me well. I was testing different ways of training people to make sure that everything would be clear, that they could see me, that also I could see them as well. And my main goal was to make sure that I could make the virtual training experience as effective, if not more so, on this platform, to make sure that they would be able to see me and feel the same energy that they feel in the gym. That was my goal, and that's what I wanted to accomplish. And I feel that I felt from the beginning, I transitioned very quickly from shock to, okay, now it's time to take action and just get things moving and satisfy my clients, because my desire was to help them.
I heard one word that kind of stuck, shock. And I want to take you up on that. The resistance. not, remember you said that this is not what you were doing. You were used to doing like one-on-one in the gym for X amount of years, and all of a sudden having to switch it all up, you know? So let's talk about resistance now. Guys, let us know also at home if ever you felt any resistance through the entire process. What I'm most interested in is how did you overcome this resistance? What did you do to overcome that, Ellie?
For me, I followed through with my passion, with my desire to satisfy and help my clients. It wasn't even something that came from my mind. It came really from my heart. And my heart was to continue doing what I've been doing for 20 years. And I was not going to let anything stop me. You know, we've all been through challenges. I've been through challenges. This was just another challenge that I had to overcome. I had to make sure that I'm not very tech savvy, but I had to learn very quickly. And I made sure that I just took action right away. And I felt that my desire was more powerful than anything else, just to help the clients. That's what really made me switch to doing it quickly and effectively.
That's what made you switch to beast mode. Just like we had a comment, you know, like Ellie, beast mode. I don't know if you saw that.
That's it.
like, can you do like Hulk? Speaking of, that makes me think of Lisa. You know, her husband saying that, like resistance-wise, not only from you, the owners, but I mean from the client as well, and then kind of figure it out that they are willing to open up more. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So it's interesting, you know, that resistance that I had lasted about 24 hours. And then my instinct was to keep hustling, because that's what I do. Clients were a bit nervous at the beginning. They were just very afraid of finding a nurturing space. So we had clients at the beginning who were doing their sessions in their car. I had a client who would go into her bathroom and turn on her shower because she had no privacy because her kids were home. But it really was fascinating to see people's resilience and their ability to adapt to a situation that was completely unknown. And it was such an honor to watch this happen, that clients who had been really nervous and were worried and were concerned. I mean, we had been getting messages, emails, and text messages into our office at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, even, with clients panicking. And, you know, within a week or two, the transition was so smooth, and it was all of us kind of working together. So myself and my husband, our team of therapists, and most importantly, our clients who let their guard down and said, you know what, I'm going to jump in with 2 feet. I'm going to trust you guys. And, you know, it's been an amazing journey for us.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all that. Eve, you spoke a little bit about resistance not necessarily being there, but I mean, do you want to add anything to that?
Well, there was resistance from actually, not from myself, but resistance because I had to deal with, social distancing, safety measures. And we also had Videotron that actually did a sort of a partnership with us. They had a contest, some people were winning a prize to participate at the event, and they would come and film the event for Videotron Plus. And so we have to make sure that all the safety measures were there, the 2 meter distances, the mask. So my idea right from the start, I got, some M3 masks done not just for the video, but also I knew that we would have to wear them. So the models, they could not actually, it's like in a restaurant. So it was in a restaurant. So you could not walk around without a mask. So all the models had to wear a mask. So the designers, smart as they are and creative as they are, they created all different masks for all the different looks for the models. So that's how we managed to have 150 people in the crowd. And we managed to pull together like the first digital fashion week in Canada. Okay. Wow. And so it was really a great, that was the type of resistance that we had. We had to make sure that everybody was following the guidelines and everybody had a good time regardless of COVID,
Thank you so much for that. I want to jump because at first, I mentioned that Lisa, you're working with your husband. Both of you, are co-owners. And I know that Eve, you have your team. I know that Ellie, you're pretty much by yourself. And that makes me, I want to relate to one of the comments that I had earlier on with Amanda Desjardins. Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm a owner of Elite Influence Social. We are a web marketing agency. So already knowing the fact that agency, well, it might not be the case, but in my mind, you are more than one person that helps brands best target their clients. We specialize in social media, content creation, and collaboration. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, how do you go through it either by yourself? Well, you're not necessarily by yourself, but I mean, if you don't have necessarily a team around you, and how did your team, Lisa, and your husband help you to go through it and to think about, to brainstorm ideas and to make it happen?
So for us, I mean, listen, I'm very blessed. I get to work with my husband. He's my best friend. We've been working together and actually together as a couple for almost 30 years already. So, that give and take, that partnership worked very, very smoothly. But, what was most important to us was our team. They kind of jumped into action. And what was so amazing is that they had offered to give services for free. You and I have spoken to that, and to give back to the community. Yeah, we had wanted to give healthcare workers free services, and I remember writing an email to my staff saying, "No pressure at all. That's my husband and I were doing it. If anyone wants to come on board with them," and every single solitary person jumped on. And that was unbelievable. And I think that, when you want to look at the kind of the silver lining, what came out of all this, it has made our team so cohesive and so dependable and so strong that, I really feel as a team and as a company, we can probably get through anything at this time. So it's been wonderful.
It's almost like a confirmation, like this is because we talked about, you and I spoke also about the fact that you choose the professionals that you're working with. You make sure that they are aligned with your vision, with your values, and etc. So that's really, really important.
That word value, and you and I had spoken about it, my husband and I based the company on our value system. And we didn't start out as business owners. We started out as a social worker, and he's a psychologist, and we're frontline workers. So entrepreneurship comes secondary to us. Yeah. So to really feel that all our team really buys into this value system and could go out on a limb and take cases 11 or 12 o'clock in the morning because someone was in a crisis, to see that camaraderie and that team approach, it really secured my vision for our value system. And I realized it might not be for everyone, but it certainly works.
Yeah. Oh my God, kudos to you, kudos to your team. And we have a comment, from Facebook user who is anonymous, and we don't know who you are, and it's all good like that. But I mean, if you want to show up, it's fine as well. Lisa really does have the dream team. So, you have some supporters out there. So kudos to you. Ellie, that's totally different because we saw you through the screen, like supporting, your clients. So how do you go through it whenever you're alone into your business?
So it's interesting you say that because I never envisioned myself working alone. Every single person that I work with, we're a team. We work together. It's there's chemistry, there's a relationship, there's trust, there's loyalty. There's so much going on with every person that I'm working with. So every single training session that I do with every single person, there's a lot of teamwork. I'm pushing, I'm teaching, I'm sharing all my energy, and they are working with me. They are making sure that they give their 110% best every single time. So I really feel that I never felt alone in this whole thing. I always knew, even in Morocco, even when I came back, I knew that I was going to make it work. I knew that the people that I work with are going to work with me. And I have to say also, I've also gotten a lot of new clients as well throughout this pandemic in the last 8.5 months. Also a lot of people. So I'm so grateful. And on top of that, I have to say that I never thought that now I'm also training people across Canada. And I even started in the US.
Wow. Hold on. Can we have some love for Ellie, you know, make it happen for himself? Seriously, can we have some love?
You know what? I want to spread the love, baby. Woo! I love it.
And it's really amazing because at first, the first, you know, thought that you had into your mind was not it. It was, this is not what I was doing. This is not what I'm comfortable with.
I told you, I was in shock. I remember the people that I was with in Morocco, they saw my face completely change. You know, I'm a positive guy. I work hard on that. You know, I try to fill my mind with so much good stuff to share that with everybody that I come into contact with. When I saw the gyms closed, I was like, wow, for me, the gym is not just the gym. The gym is my home. I spent so many hours of my life, and I grew up in the gym environment. So I felt like somebody ripped my house away from me.
Oh, wow.
So I had to rebuild a new house safely and effectively to support the people that I work with. And, you know, with a lot of teamwork. It's all about teamwork. I think in every single field, everybody and anything that we do, we're always working with other people and we help each other. And there's always teamwork no matter what. I never felt alone, no matter what.
That's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. And speaking of house, you know, speaking of building a new house, I mean, allow me to go to Eve right now and speak of maybe a house of jazz, you know, who became kind of another house of yours, which allowed you to do your, you know, to do the fashion show. So how did it go for you?
I was very fortunate. You know, I met the owner because of the marketing director. I knew him, and like I told you, I asked him because we were doing fashion films, you know, to promote the designers and interviews and stuff like that. So I got really lucky that, you know, she of course, she looked at my profile, she looked what I've done before. And she was like, okay, this represents the quality of what we want here, because the House of Jazz of Laval is actually a very beautiful space. And she wanted to make sure that it wasn't something like, you know, broche à foin that was coming to be presented. So they were very receptive, very helpful. They sponsored us the space. They sponsored us the space to do the event because, anyways, it was bringing them clientele. So, you know, it was a great exchange. And, you know, everything went smoothly. But of course, when you're doing an event, you have to make sure that everything goes like, you know, it's a house. The designers are part of the team. The models are part of the team. The people of coordination, the lights, sounds. Everybody comes to, the photographers, the videographers, everybody comes together to create something, a magical moment for the public. So for me, a house, Maison M3, I actually have that name as well, House of M3. It's, you know, it represents not just a quality glamour, but it represents also respect for the work of all individuals, respect, you know, for anybody that is part, you know, of a project. I think it's important. That's the best way to actually go further in your project, when you actually pay attention to people, pay attention to their needs, respect them, and this way they all have a great experience and they want to come back after.
I feel like staying with you for just a second right now, Eve, and, you know, use the words that you use, the words that you've used before. You did not want to be forgotten, which is why you've decided, you know, to do the second one. And I was there too, by the way. And the first, Ellie, actually, I think that Ellie and I think we met there. Anyways, I don't remember, but I mean, it was amazing. It truly was. And we had some comments before that it was fabulous. I mean, kudos for that, to that. We did not want to be forgotten. So, I mean, I want all of you, like all three panelists, I want you to put yourself back, you know, in March, whatever, 16th-ish, whenever it was announced, and you're there and you're like panicking, Lisa, for like 24 hours, and then Ellie for might be a little bit longer than 24 hours, you know, back in Morocco. What could you give, you know, as an advice to people? Because, I mean, hopefully we will not live that again, but I mean, just going through something that is unexpected. I think here the key word is unexpected. What is something that you did, that you put in place, strategy, mindset, whatever the case might be, that helped you, that allowed you to keep pushing? Eve, what was it for you?
Well, like I told you before, I used to have a web TV show.
Yeah.
So I used to produce videos and, you know, short interviews and stuff like that, and create contents for social media. So I knew right away that's how I was going to pivot, because I knew how to create magical moments for the screen. So for me, it was already a done deal. So all I had to do was to actually, since I'm the creative director of the platform, I thought of all the concepts for all the designers. So to make sure that all the, the iconography would look the same, even if I had to respect all, the styles of the designers, etc., etc., I still wanted everything to look, seamless, even if they had all different styles. So and people were counting on us to do something. People were expecting us to do something also, because we always try to keep them on their toes. And even now, we're still putting out there some new material all the time. And that's how we are. That's how the team works. We always want to do better. We want to create magical moments, want to inspire people. So that's what kept me really going. And, it's not just about to be to put something in the people's mind. It's to put something in their hearts as well. So it's all about the experience that they have to go through online, the experience that they have to go through physical, So no, we didn't want to be forgotten at all.
That's and also, at first, earlier you mentioned the mask. I mean, you use that in order for it to, I don't know, like make it even more beautiful, for your fashions. I mean, you were bright, you were clever about it as well. So, I mean, really, really awesome. Lisa, I saw you, like, I don't know how you say that in English, with your head, not in your head. What about you?
So, I think for me, it was a bit of a different approach. There was this really, a really big need, obviously, to support our clientele. And, we depend a lot on word of mouth referrals, but also on referrals from doctors' offices and schools and universities and clinics, and everything was shut down. And there was a huge revelation that, we depend on people, and I don't want to fall through the cracks. And then I dug deep, and I'm a very big listener of Brené Brown. She's a motivational speaker, and she speaks a lot about vulnerability. And when we are most vulnerable, it allows us to be our most authentic. And I really went into a place of being extremely vulnerable. And, I think it helped me really to see how fragile things are, to practice gratitude, and to be aware of my surroundings and who we are. And it really allowed me to really strongly pivot. And it gave me that momentum to say, okay, reinvent ourselves again, and we can do it. And it was really that whole concept of vulnerability that really propelled me forward. And, I have to practice it when I preach. I talk to my clients about this concept all day long, and it was a perfect opportunity for me to be in that position. And it was really life-changing.
I mean, you say vulnerable, you say vulnerability, and I say courage. This is what I hear, this is what I see, this is what I feel. So, and speaking of which, I mean, I know that only because you told me before and you did not mention that, and I would like you to mention it because I think it could open up the mind of people who did not necessarily consider that. You did a lot of radio shows. You went out there. Like, tell us just a little bit about that before I go to Ellie.
So I kind of mentioned before, I'm a bit of a hustler. My favorite place to be is out of my comfort zone. And, when I went into my profession, over 20 years ago, social workers were not a very respected profession. Looked upon as, kind of people working with children, taking them out of their houses, not a very great salary. And, I didn't let that stop me. And I knew very young in my profession that I couldn't work for other people. I needed to work for myself. And I pushed, and I do a lot of things. A tremendous amount of things out of my comfort zone. I've done a radio show. I on TV regularly, doing like this. It inspires me, and it pushes me, and it really it allows me to inspire other people. But doing these events allows to inspire myself. It teaches me my limitations and my resilience and what I can do. So my biggest advice is just go and do it. You know,
Yeah.
don't
Oh my
hesitate.
God. Yeah. I have Facebook users saying the biggest hustler.
Yeah.
Ellie, I want to know like about you. Tell us. And you have Petronas in the house as a big supporter, by the way. I mean, hello, gorgeous. Hope you're doing amazing.
Question again.
So
okay.
yeah, just want to make sure, yeah, that you understood. So like what, maybe an advice, you know, that you could give people, because you put yourself back, you're in Morocco, you hear that, you hear the news, you know that you'll have to pivot even though you might be resistant. So what is something that you did, mindset, strategy that you put in place for you that allowed you to pivot, that could be helpful to others as well?
Perfect. So as a trainer, a big thing that I've always worked on and that I truly believe in is focus. And when I train myself, when I train my clients, it's all about focus. It's all about being in that moment, about focusing on your form, your technique, feeling the muscles. And this resembles a lot in life. And the pivot as well. It really connects perfectly, because with the pivot, we have to focus on finding solutions, finding opportunities. When somebody comes to me and they're injured and they're not able to do certain exercises, I always have a backup plan. I always have a list of exercises and other solutions that they can do in their workout. So basically, there's no way out. The work's going to get done, but it's going to get done differently. So with the pivot, I did the same thing. I basically took what I've been doing for 20 years. I put it into this crazy situation. And I said to myself, okay, there's an obstacle, no problem. I need to focus on all the solutions, whatever I need to do to make sure that the clients are served and that they get, that they get their workouts in, because it was crucial. So focus, looking for opportunities was a really, really big thing for me, and looking for basically a way out of a dark situation and making things happen.
Yeah. And I feel like telling this only because you told me that you're comfortable talking about it. And I think it's really important to mention you went through a grief through this time particularly. And I would like for you to talk just a little bit about that, because a lot of people went through losses, grief, various forms. And I would like you to touch, that just a little, so that way, what did you do to help? How do you come up from that darkness-ish? I don't know how you want to call it.
Yeah. Okay. So I lost my father suddenly last November, exactly 1 year ago. It happened just like that. And I was in complete shock. My whole family was. He was healthy. He was in good shape. He went to work one day and he passed away in a business meeting. Mm-hmm. And the way that I felt from that crushed me, devastated me. As a man, I can admit now that I was very emotional. At that time, I didn't even know how to process it. I was completely out of it. One of the reasons why I went to Morocco it was part of my journey to get out of that funk, to kind of help me grow, help me learn. And going to Morocco, it was a retreat, and I went there to learn. And since my father passed away, I have done so much learning and research and reading. I've really tried everything I can. I believe so, to really take care of my energy, to take care of others. Mm-hmm. And as crushed as I was, and I'm still until today, it's only been a year, I'm still recovering from it. I am so empathetic and compassionate to every single person that has lost someone, especially this year. It's dealing with grief right now, and this year is a very, very, very big obstacle. And what has helped me the most to kind of overcome, not necessarily overcome, but to manage it, is to express how I feel with the right people, express how I feel with loved ones, with friends, not holding back, because holding that grief and holding that pain in will ultimately completely destroy you. You have to let it out. You have to share it. And whenever I feel that people are going through a rough time, especially with grief, I listen. I know how it feels. I understand. And my message to people is, when people are grieving, to be there for them, even if you have not gone through it. So even if you have not gone through it yourself, it's so important to be there for your friends and for your family, because once it hits you, it hits you. And once you go through it, you understand exactly what that person went through. And I just find helping people and helping them train, helping them feel good about themselves, getting them in shape has really, really helped to me take care of my own energy to be able to take care of them.
That's thank you. I want to take the time to, like, I of course I thank everybody. Like certain, events might be a little bit harder to discuss, and I think it's really important that you share that, and that I bring people onto your Facebook page, Instagram page, where you actually wrote a poem, for your father. So I really do applaud you for that. And also, maybe, if ever you have a friend, you have family members, and if you do good, if you don't, or still if you do, there's always Lisa, right, with your therapy center, this is what you do, this is what you're here for. I will, exactly, seriously. And I will go to Eve now, because I want to know, because we've been learning a lot, right, through it all, like every day, but maybe especially during this time. Eve, what is the number one thing that you are the most proudest of? Yeah, the proudest of, I'm sorry, that you've learned about yourself through this particular time? What would that be?
Well, I knew I was resilient. I'm a resilient person. It's part of my nature. I'm always working on finding solutions to any problems, and I stay positive. But, what I'm most proud of at this point is that I've managed to keep it together, not just only for myself, but also for all my team, all the people that works with me, all the people that trust me in this project. My photographer, Masa Crystal Seya, Jasmine Wahid. We have the videographers. We have, the models, all these people, they have a trust in me. And they have a respect towards the project as well. So for me, it's what I'm proud of is that I actually managed to keep it together, to stay positive for these people, not just for myself, because I'm not really like that, but for these people, I just, give a little bit more.
Yeah.
So,
Was it because you said something, and recently I saw something like going against the positive mindset of, it's all good if, and Lisa, you will be able to interfere if I'm wrong, because this is your field of expertise, but it's good to be aligned with the positivity, but if it's not how you feel inside, it might be self-destructive. So were there any times where you kind of push because people were counting on you and you felt as though it was really not it? How did you deal with that?
No, it's really, really, really part of my nature. When I went through a lot in my life as well. We all go through different stuff, and sometimes people are not expecting you to succeed. And I went through that as well with the first edition, even the second, and people are not expecting you to succeed, or they don't want you to succeed, period, in what you do. But, I remember I would wake up, this is for the first, I would wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, and I would rush, I would feel like stressed, and I was like, okay, am I really doing this? Is this really going to happen? What if it fails? What if I don't succeed? What are people going to think? Then I go back to, and I would go back to bed and wake up the next day inspired, saying, no, you have to be doing this. You have to keep doing this. You have to keep on pushing, keep on believing. There's so much positivity going on around the project. There's so many people that are involved in a positive way that it cannot fail. So that's what would keep me going. But yes, it's normal when you're actually working on such a big project that a lot of people are involved, and it's public, it's like I'm putting myself out there.
It's out there.
It's out there. So, and one thing I'm really proud of is that I don't pay attention to critics. I just do what I feel right.
Wow.
So that's what helps me.
Wow. Who else in the audience? Who else is there not paying attention to the critics or to whatever people are saying? Because that's really amazing. This is something that I'm actually working towards as well. Because I mean, whether you want it or not, it kind of affects you a little bit and sometimes a lot. So it's something that, you know, can be learned and taught maybe by you, maybe. I'm just putting it out there.
A lot of people, they wanted me to fail, basically. And I heard about it and I knew about it. And I just didn't care. I didn't care. My main focus was that I have all these people that had to put the trust in me. So I have to make sure that that they will be happy as well.
It's what I'm hearing is focus on what brings you, you know, that energy and that vibe and that keeps you going. So that's really that's part of the resilience maybe, or just your nature. I mean, either way, it's amazing. Guys, let us know also in the audience, what is the proudest thing that you've discovered about yourself through this all? And Lisa, allow me to ask you the question now.
So, you know, through this whole pandemic, I wear so many hats. You know, I'm a therapist, I'm a business owner, but I'm also a mom of 3. I'm a daughter of elderly parents, and it was a challenge, you know, at times making sure that everyone around me was good, and also making sure that I am. So, you know, it reminded me to practice self-care and to make sure that I really nurture and I take care of myself, and I exercise and I eat well, and I do all the things that I need to do. And also, to me, it's about practicing self-compassion. You know, self-compassion, the core of self-compassion is really to speak to yourself like you would speak to someone that you love and respect. And so many of us are so hard on ourselves, and it's so easy to put ourselves down or to be disappointed. And, you know, it was almost like a mantra. You know, every day I wake up and I try to be positive and resilient. And if I am having a moment of vulnerability or weakness, it's about giving myself permission. So it's about, you know, going back to what you said, you know, positive mindset is wonderful, but it's okay to honor the one time where you don't feel good also. And to me, that's very important to me. You know, I'm a go, go, go. And then there's sometimes when it doesn't feel right to go. And I step back and I sit in the negativity for a little bit. And then I pick myself back up and I get back on and I go on my journey. But, you know, people can just remember, and it's been a lifesaver for me to practice self-care and then to remember to be compassionate towards yourself and treat yourself with love and kindness.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I want you also to talk a little bit about, you know, your background, because this is something that is truly inspiring. And I know you're comfortable with that because this is something that you talk about. You know, like, where do you come from? What's your background, your family background? What has led you to eventually become an entrepreneur and you know, an owner? What is, you know, you keep saying that you're a hustler. Where's this hustling, you know, side of you coming from?
You know, I really feel that it comes from a lot of my upbringing. You know, I grew up in a quite dysfunctional household with mental illness and, you know, an absentee parent. And, you know, it impacted me. And although my parents did the best they could, there was either 2 roads for me to take, to either become a victim or to go down the road of being a survivor and being resilient. And for some reason, I don't know why, I chose the resilient road, and it's, you know, it's been a great ride. And I really love to go back to Tony Robbins, You're Not My Guru, his documentary. And he really talks about, you know, we're not born this way. We are a product of our situations and our core beliefs. And he really proudly says that we need to kind of look at the experiences that we've gone through and the people that might have wronged us or the difficult times, and embrace them and have value to them because it's helped us to get to where we are today. So, you know, I think my hustler nature comes from being a survivor, but I have so much gratitude towards what my parents did provide to me because it led me here. And without some of the dysfunction, I don't think I would have become as resilient as I am. So turning a complicated situation into, I think, more positive perspective.
Yeah, coming back a little bit onto what Eve was saying before, you know, like using everything that feeds you, and focus onto that, right?
Like a fire, it's like a fire at us, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing. Ellie, I would like you maybe to, you know, tell us about that number one thing that you are the most proud of. I keep messing that word. I'm sorry. That you're the proudest of. I think that maybe your mic. You want to maybe activate your mic. Just make sure. Yeah, that's good. That's perfect like that.
Hold on.
That's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the one thing that I am the most proud of is that I have learned from this pivot experience that this can only make me grow. It can only make me stronger. It can only make me evolve. And by telling myself that and reminding myself that, it gives me a lot of peace. And I find that right now, peace is the one thing that it's hard for us to feel right now. We're feeling a lot of anxiety and stress. But if we keep on reminding ourselves of that specific phrase where there's a blessing in everything, and like my mother always says, she always says, every obstacle for the better. And I love that, because when I look at things like that, like this pivot, it makes me proud to feel that I'm there. I'm constantly reminding myself of that mantra to give me fuel, to give me power, to give me strength and resilience.
Oh my, thank you so much. And you know, I don't want to let you go just yet. I mean, as we're heading, you know, towards the conclusion, I would like maybe, well, first things first, I mean, people in the audience, let us know what maybe resonated with you the most so far. Anything that you've loved, you know, most particularly, feel free to comment, feel free to share. I mean, sharing is growing, at least according to me. Jennifer, oh my God, Jennifer's there. So love it, beautifully said.
Hey,
thank you so much, Jennifer. I want to ask you, Ellie, what is it that you would like to leave people with? And at the same time, if you want to remind people who you are, what you do, just in case that people just hopped on, now is the time to do so.
Okay. The one thing that I can tell people that I want to leave them with is that every single thing that we are going to go through in our entire lives is going to prepare us for the next thing. And this is what it comes down to. And there are no obstacles. There are no challenges. They're there to teach us something. They're there to really to open our minds to a different world, and a world that we are supposed to see. I really do believe that things do happen for a reason. As cliche as that sounds, I have to believe in that to really feel that life has purpose, life has meaning. And this is what I want people to remember. To just take that mantra with them, to understand that you are just getting ready for the next big thing, the next big exciting adventure that you're going to experience in your life. It's going to happen, and you're going to be that much stronger, that much better, that much wiser to get it done properly and to handle it better and to manage it better. And you know what? We are going to get through this COVID crisis for sure. I'm 110%. I love all of you. And my last words is that with love, we can conquer anything.
And I just want to take the time to read the comment. It was shown before, but I think it was, you know, I love that what people thought was not possible before is actually easier than one thinks. So, I mean, just to keep on going, to keep on pushing. And maybe you want to remind people who you are, what you do, just to make sure.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. So I'm a personal trainer in Montreal, and I've been a trainer for 20 years. And now I shifted everything online. I love it. I enjoy it. And I am doing basically everything that I was doing in the gym environment for almost 20 years. I'm now doing it virtually, and now I'm working across Canada and moving slowly into the States, and I'm loving every moment of it. I have to say I'm really enjoying it, and also meeting new people since COVID hit. I'm sure many of us have met a lot of interesting people, and I have to say I really value that. I value every single person that I've met, and this is a big part of my pivot during the pandemic.
This is a big part. I must add that, you know, it's a big part of who you are also. You are that person. You are, that smile. You have that beautiful soul. So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for sharing as much as you did. I want to ask the same question to Lisa. What would you like to leave people with?
So firstly, I think that Ellie and I are kindred souls because we have a very similar mentality and the way we think. You and me, okay? We're going to connect.
There you go.
My mantra in life is what I live by. It's what I teach my kids. It's how I empower my clients is to just get out there and just do it. Don't let the obstacles stand in your way. Don't let difficulties or struggles impede your growth and your progress. And if it does, you embrace it and, you get back up and you keep going. So, if I leave you with anything tonight, it's that, get off this Zoom, this meeting, go and sit after, reflect on where you want to go and what you want to do, because there's nothing that can stop you. And it's like the Nike ad, I could put it on my forehead, just do it.
And also maybe a question from the audience to both Ellie and Lisa right before I go to Eve. Will you keep your services open? That person is curious to find out. Will you keep them open?
For absolute, we work 7 days a week at our clinic. We offer services from 7:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. It's been a huge eye-opener for us, online services. So similar to Ellie, we have people across Canada now. So our online platform is going to remain long-term. We love it. And once COVID stops and we can go back to the office, we're going to have both services offered. So it's amazing for us.
Okay, good stuff. And what about you, Ellie? Just the mic?
Yeah, okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I was going to say that 100% I will be continuing online. I will for sure keep the gym option there. I will never leave the gym, but my online service will definitely be there to stay. My clients already, they're begging me to keep it open. So I promise them that even when the gym opens, I will still be training them online for sure.
Okay, good stuff. I hope that answered your question, Facebook user Anonymous. And also make sure, maybe Lisa, your therapy center, West Island Therapy Center. People can find you there on Instagram as well. It's what you do. It's what you love. Your mic as well, I think, is off.
I'm so cautious with the mic. I don't want to make any noise. Okay. So yeah, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're everywhere. We have a great website. We have online booking now that we actually added now with COVID. So clients don't even have to call the office. They can just book directly online.
Okay, that's good. So West Island Center, right?
West Island Therapy and Wellness Center.
Okay, that's perfect. And Eve, I have not forgotten about you. It is your time to shine as well. Let us know, the message that you want to share with people and remind them who you are, what you do.
So, yes, I'm Yves Ulysse, founder of M3, Mode Masculine Montréal, and M3 Digital, the Digital Men's Fashion Week. We will continue to actually have a digital version and a physical version. So M3 has become something hybrid now. So in the future, people will be able to assist at the physical event, go through all the glamour, and they will be able to go through all the glamour online as well, because we'll make sure that all our shows will be broadcast live from social media or different platforms. And what I want to say to people is that COVID showed us that, having lots of money, having power, etc., we have no control over anything in this life. But the one thing that we are able to control is how we're going to react to those situations.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. Guys, how did we enjoy it? Like, how fun was it? Seriously. You can all speak at the same time. It's all good.
This was fabulous. I loved it. And I love being inspired by everyone. It's amazing. And you're amazing, Ingrid. You rock.
Thank you so much. It really had a good time. the audience, everybody. Patrick, come along. And we also have a tech guy, right? Amol Khan, thank you so much for your amazing job. You facilitated my work. I might even think of hiring you seriously whenever I do my own show. It is so much easier. Patrick, make sure to come along so that we celebrate with you as well. Yeah, Patrick.
I'm here. Wow, thank you so much, everyone. I mean, when I put this dream team together, when we were making this panel, I knew it was just going to be a radiation of love just coming out. And my phone kept buzzing. We didn't see all the comments. People were actually messaging me saying how much they enjoy and love and how they inspired because, you know, I mean, Lisa, you probably encountered this a lot, you know, with helping people with mental health. Ellie, I know you're encountering a lot with, you know, physical health. You know, people are not feeling their best these days. And, you know, when I start advertising just panels particularly, I'm like, this is going to be the one panel that's going to be, you know, spreading inspiration and motivation for people.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw in the comments. That's what I saw in my text messages. So thank you so much again for doing this. And I will welcome everyone now to join us for the networking. So it's very simple. After this live closes, the same page where you are on the group, just choose one of the rooms, either salle 1, salle 2, or réseautage. Let's be not more than 6 to 8 people per room, so it doesn't become overcrowded. But yeah, let's chat, let's talk. I want to see all of you. Let's mingle.
Yeah.
And again, thank you for all the participants, and thank you also for my numerics team. This couldn't have happened without all of you, including you, Amokar, which we don't see you tonight. But thank you so much again.
Yeah, and I just want to end this just to make sure. I mean, you know, the panelists will be there. I mean, at least we'll be there for a certain amount of time. And, you know, the Facebook user that we did not know about is Heather. So just in case you know Heather, hi, gorgeous. I'm super happy that you wrote your name. So, guys, we'll see you soon. Thank you so much and have a very nice evening. Thank you, guys.